Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this. A brand new day with a hamster. It's Harold. Good old Harold with a foot dangling down. He's got a dangling foot and gigantic testicles because he's a male hamster. But he's a great little guy. He's old and his fur is like, you know, getting all squirfly on him. And his eyeball is, well, his eyelid is weird, but he's a good little guy. He's happy and friendly. He's very mellow. He was kind of freaked out at first when I picked him up, you know, but now after, how long has it been I've had him? It hasn't been that long. Month? 2 months? Not even that long, I bet. But he's really mellowed out. He lets me hold him right there. I put him back in his cage so he can go back to bed. Because, of course, I was cruel and I woke him up. I was vicious and mean. Hamsters need to sleep, too. Poor little guy. But he's such a sweetheart. In fact, now he's up on his little purple platform wandering around and eating things. Because he's good. He's a hamster. I have my 4 main hammies in their little cages. Little. Remember, I am aware that they are almost criminally small. Hamsters need 450 square inches of space. These don't have it. As soon as I can, which I'm going to talk about here, when I can, I'm going to get some bin cages for them. Problem is, yeah, my van died, and we're trying to get some stuff to get it fixed, and hopefully it's not going to be incredibly expensive. Looks to be the camshaft sensor, but from the 2000 plus year models, they're much more high-tech than the older sensors used to be. So it's like $70? Now, I don't have any money. After I pay the rent, I have no money. I'm negative. The thing is, my housemates don't have a ton more. They have a little bit more, and they do spend it on stuff, and they're actually going to buy the camshaft sensor for the van. And we're going to get it up and running again, because when the sensor gets all clogged up, the whole thing just goes boom, shuts down entirely. And when you're driving on the highway at 60 miles an hour, and then suddenly the whole car just goes click and shuts off, and then you're left with a dead non-power wheel to try and get off the road while everyone's coming up behind you at 60. Yeah, that's kind of scary. So we got to get that fixed. Hopefully it's not going to be much. Like I said, I don't have any money. They're going to be buying that and paying for it. They have about as much money as I make. Only things are done in such that they don't have a ton of money themselves. I don't know what we're going to do. Yes, if I lived by myself here, I could actually do it. With the amount of money that I make on my disability, and the electrical bill would be like less than half of what it is, the water bill would be less than half of what it is, the internet bill would be like 70 bucks instead of 250 bucks. If I was just living here in this place by myself, I could do with the money that I have. But I'm sharing the house with my housemates, and because of the way that things are split up and the way that they've got money, I instantly have no cash the minute I pay the rent. I pay the entire rent. I did a big thing with them last month to try and say, hey, look, we need to do it all this way, and that didn't work out, and so I don't know what's going to happen. We're talking more about things, and they're doing more stuff. Like now they're actually fixing the van instead of standing back like they would have before and being pissed at me for not spending the money to fix the van. So I don't know what's going to happen. Because instantly after paying the rent each month, I go negative. And then I've got to do things like pay for my storage unit and pay for cannabis and pay for all this. If I can finish getting rid of my storage unit, one of my housemates' family members has said that they will help to start getting a truck in to start moving stuff out of there. It's going to be done that month. That month, this month. And that will help, because that's 170 bucks right there. If I don't have to pay the 170 bucks for my storage unit, all of a sudden, while it won't be easy, while it won't be fun, it'll be a heck of a lot easier to do what I'm doing. I might be able to survive it doing it the way that we're doing things now, but I do want to talk to them and say, look, it's just 100 or 200 for the rent. Because before I even pay the rent, I'm negative because of the previous month. I only have $1,200 from my disability, and immediately from the last month, because I'm already minus $200 in my checking account, that means I only have $1,000 coming in for my disability. And then instantly when I pay the $1,050, boom, negative already. Which means I'm going to be negativer as soon as all that other stuff comes in, which means that my next disability instantly has a couple hundred chopped off the top. So not having my storage unit will help. Ugh. I've been going through my wife's stuff that I've got in my room, because I moved a bunch of stuff out of my storage unit, just boxes, crates actually, they're bins. They're almost big enough for hamsters. They're 380 square inches at the bottom. Not 450, they're so close. I mean, they're more than this, so I might do it anyway, but I don't know. But I've been going through her stuff, and the only thing that's been saving me, because as soon as I start going through it, I immediately, of course, start crying because I miss her. We were in a tight orbit like this around each other. I mean, most normal people, when you have a marriage, you rotate around a common point. And, you know, you'll have little disagreements, you fight, but you're rotating around that common point. You're both orbiting around that point, and that's your life. As my wife got sicker, our orbit got tighter and tighter until we were like this. We spent 24/7 in each other's presence. And we were happy with that. We didn't need anybody else. It was, you know, I took her to doctor's appointments, and when we weren't at doctor's appointments, we were at home because she couldn't go anywhere. Just walking to the bathroom in the last year of her life was enough to tire her out. I had to take her in a wheelchair down to the bathroom. So that was rough. I can't even remember how I got here. How did I get here conversationally? I love fibromyalgia. Oh. Yes, because I'm going through the stuff in there. I am going through her stuff, and it just immediately, like I said, I start to cry. The only thing that can get me through this, and this is kind of show you just what goes on inside of my head, and amazingly, how this all keeps me going. I have an incredibly nihilistic viewpoint for life inside of my head. The only thing that's getting me through being able to go through my wife's stuff is just reminding myself constantly that nothing matters. Nothing matters. That's the only thing that's letting me go through her stuff to get rid of the stuff that... It's great that she kept it. It was great that she had memories. It was great that she had all this stuff, but it's stuff that I can't keep and don't really want. I've already tossed out, like she had newspapers from the day that our 21-year-old, yeah, I think he's 21 now, but he was 5 when I came into his life. I consider myself his father, but he lives in Montana now, her son, our son, and she had like newspapers from the day that he was born and other things like that. And it was just, I just had to keep telling myself, nothing matters. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. And just throw all that stuff out. Because he doesn't want it. I can't keep it. I don't have room. I'm not that kind of, what's the word? When you keep stuff, not collector, but I'm not, while I like history and I like memories, there are some things that is just, yeah, that's a memory, and I don't know that I wanted to keep that one. So I've just been tossing a whole bunch of her stuff, like her high school yearbooks. I threw those all out. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. And so I've been going through her stuff, keeping the stuff that I want to keep, throwing away the stuff that's just her life, but we've got our own lives going on. And this is stuff that in the 12 years of our marriage, I never once saw her even even refer to some of this stuff. She never looked at it. She never talked about it. She kept it as memories. If she had lived to be 80, she would have kept it, and I would have been glad to keep it with her. But with her gone, and to continue to show you, up inside of this head of mine, along with nothing matters, because nothing matters, the thing that keeps me going through life with my wife gone is the knowledge, self-knowledge, of course, that existence is pointless. All of human activity is meaningless, and we're all just waiting to die. Now that sounds depressing, but I find that incredibly freeing, because life has no meaning other than what you put into it. I am on a constant quest for meaning in my life, and I find that freeing. I don't have that big society says this, society says that, culture says this. I'm like, no. I'm trying to find my own meaning, because your meaning is good for you, but it doesn't mean a bloody thing to me. I don't find enough reason to stick around for any of these other reasons. The only thing that keeps me going is that all life is pointless, human activity is meaningless, and we're all waiting to die. And I find that incredibly freeing. It gives me the freedom to find my own point in life. And that keeps me going, because I am on a quest. And I may never find that meaning, that perfect reason, but I'm on a quest to find it. There, you have whatever meaning you have for life, what you put into it. And so I'm putting a whole bunch into it. And yet, at the same time, of course, I mean, what am I putting into it? I saw a quote by John Cougar Mellencamp, a guy who, while I don't think much of his artistic abilities, I grew up listening to his music on MTV and all. When I was 19, MTV, John Cougar Mellencamp started up really being big on MTV and music-wise, and so I grew up listening to this guy's music that I've never liked. But he said, you know, he's 65, the finish line is in sight. You know, he doesn't want to waste his time being old. Yeah, the average lifespan of an American man is 74, so at 65, yeah, the finish line is in sight for him and getting closer. Now, that's not as bad for me. I'm not even 55. Next month, I turn 55. So it's coming up, and yeah, I can see that finish line now. I've got effectively 20 summers left. And then no more. I have read, just in this year alone, so many men whom I have looked up through my entire life, dead before 70. People that took care of themselves and yet didn't matter. So average lifespan, I'm hoping to hit 74. That'd be nice. Hey, my stepdad, the guy who I still call father, because he's been my father figure since I was 12. So I like to say he's my father, but I don't lie either. He's not my father. He's my stepfather. But I don't consider my stepfather the same way I consider myself to be the father of my son, who's actually my wife's son from a previous relationship. But I've been his father figure since he was 5 years old. Try to remember now, this has to do, oh yes, my stepdad who's in his 80s. So there's hope, there's possibilities. I could make it past 74. But I was tweeting about this today, you know, I've cleaned up over 200 plus corpses in my 15 years working as a nurse's aide in healthcare from 1989 until 2005, I think it was. Yeah, 2005. So I've cleaned up a lot of dead people. I've often wondered what it's like going to bed each night knowing there's a big possibility you're not going to wake up tomorrow. That you're turning off the lights and you are actually turning off the lights. Thumbs up. Yeah, and just before I go on with that, the other thing that keeps me going in my life is I don't have any hopes or expectations or anything like that. I refuse to hope. I never, ever, ever get my hopes up. If something nice is going to happen to me, I do not believe it until it happens, because otherwise I'm just setting myself up for disappointment. I do not believe good things are going to happen until they happen. Now, in 15 minutes, I'm going to thank 20 to 25 people. I have kind of waited a long time on this one. I've talked a whole bunch. I'm opening up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab here on my channel. I'm going to thank 20 to 25 people, as stated. It's a range because with my counting, I'm quite sure I count 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 12. Now, if you'd like a shout-out, just ask for it. If I catch it, you will get that shout-out. If I mispronounce your name, no disrespect is intended. I'm very sorry. I'm an American English speaker. We're not good at names. I'm better than I thought I'd be, but I'm not good at names. So, I'm going to start off with Kendall King. Thank you very, very much. And the Midnight Captain. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Twizzy Mike. Thank you very much. Mateus Bulcher. Thank you very, very much. Talion the Gravewalker. Cool name. Thank you very, very much. Patrice Laveau, thank you very much. And Jessica Tapia, thank you. Rage Gaming, son of a gun, thank you very, very much. And then there is Owl Ursus Boy. How about that? Thank you very, very much. Lautaro Ferrer, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Jesse Zimmerman, thank you. And Arkia FCL3, thank you very, very much. Mechi Bonato, thank you. I'm quite sure I mispronounced that. I'm very sorry. J-Rock Vampire. Thank you very, very much for still being here. It's greatly appreciated indeed. And then Switchblade, thank you. And Dean Cordell, thank you very, very much. Daniel Osuna, something like that. I hope I'm close. Thank you very much. Claire Miles, thank you very much. Ricky Vidge, heck of a name. Thank you very much. George Simpson, thank you very much. Gurren Lagann, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Veronica, thank you very, very much. The Horror Files. Thank you very much for coming back. Greatly appreciated. Thumbs up. Always good to see you in the comments. And then Gusti Furza Afrizal? I know I'm not anywhere close, but thank you very, very much. And then last but not least, Ice Damon. Thank you very, very much. You got a good channel. I enjoy watching. Thumbs up. People should go watch his stuff too. Thumbs up. Unless I'm thinking of somebody else, but I don't think I am. Well, it's 17 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm just going to say, hey, if you could check out my links down below, that would be very awesome. I've got like Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+, and my blog, Son of a Gun. I remembered each and every one of them, a very good thing. My thanks to everybody who has donated to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron. It is because of you, literally, all of you, that I've been able to stay in this house and eat. I've been on the edge of homelessness for quite some time, and it is only because of you, literally, that I am still not homeless. Thank you so very much. If you could continue to donate, that would be very awesome, or become a Patreon.com patron. But if you do not donate, or you cannot donate, I take all good wishes, deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, that would be very cool. I can't remember where the timer is there, trying to see how long I've been doing this. If you could toss me a like, that would be very cool. I do appreciate all the positive validation for my existence. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be cool. But my personality has rubbed people wrong my entire life. If you don't like my videos, I understand. If you don't want to subscribe to the channel, I understand. But if you're down with it, then thumbs up. I will do my darndest to keep you entertained for, well, a very, very long time indeed. After all, slap a few coats of sealant on you, stack you like cordwood down in the basement, you'll last for decades before you go sour. Hey, even in hard economic times, a guy has to eat. Cannibalism for the win. I have never eaten an entire human being. Yet. So, it's 19 minutes and 10 seconds. Very, very cool. I like to keep these under 20 minutes. I'm very sorry that I don't do my greetings anymore. I'm actually kind of afraid that that's one of the things that's been demonetizing my channel. Ever since I stopped doing my greetings and changed my title cards, sometimes I don't get demonetized. Sometimes. Well, hey, I've got a reaction video coming up. I got a game video coming up. Hopefully, I've got 2 game videos coming up for my channel. Yesterday was such a nightmare because my internet went down for 8+ hours. But you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And once again, 20 minutes, No more, no less. Hopefully I'll have to chop this off at 20 minutes. Bye.